If you're looking to move to Utah because of a new job, for family, or you just want a new start and you heard Utah was a pretty cool place to be, well, in this video, we're going to go over everything you need to know about living in Clearfield, Utah. In this video, we'll go over everything from A to Z, such as where's Clearfield located on the map, especially in relationship to, say, Salt Lake City and Ogden. How many people live in Clearfield? How are the schools? Crime rating, cost of living? How much does it cost to buy a house? Where does Clearfield rank in comparison to other cities in Utah? And everything else you would want to know. And remember, if you're looking to move to Utah and want more information on any area in northern Utah, you have to reach out to me. Call, text, email, whatever you're comfortable with, but I can't help you unless you reach out. If you don't already know, my name is Miya. I am a real estate agent with the Miya Real Estate Group, brokered by Equity Real Estate. So let's dive in and check out Clearfield, Utah. But in order to do this in a non-biased way, we are going to use niche.com's rankings of Clearfield to give grades and comparisons of Clearfield City to other areas of Utah. So let's jump down to the computer, and here we're going to start out with a map of Utah. So Clearfield is located in northern Utah, right between Salt Lake City and Ogden, okay? So there's Provo, Salt Lake City, and Ogden. Okay, a little more biased towards Ogden, but just north of Salt Lake, just south of Ogden. Come down, zoom in, and here you can see neighboring cities of Layton, Syracuse, West Point, and Clinton, and it's right here adjoining Hill Air Force Base. So Clearfield is a very popular city to live in if you are military and you have been stationed at Hill Air Force Base. Because of its location, Clearfield, here there is a gate in Roy that you can access, or right here there is another gate to get onto the base in Layton. Okay, so you dive in a little closer. Here is this yellow line is I-15, which is the main corridor running north and south in Utah. So very convenient if you need to go to, say, Salt Lake City or anything else, or any other cities along the way. Very convenient freeway access. Okay, so let's go into niche.com here. And niche.com does rank this as the number 42 best suburb to live in Utah. So not the best, not the worst, kind of right there in the middle. And they give it an overall grade of a B+. Okay, and here it kind of breaks down different criteria of how they came up with a B+ rating. So public schools, A-, which is great. Housing, B-, families, B+, jobs, B+, cost of living, a C, outdoor activities, an A, crime and safety, a C+, nightlife, a B+. I don't know how great the nightlife really is in Clearfield, but they're giving it a B+. Diversity, A-. Here, I think it's because of the Air Force Base that you get the more diverse population. B on the weather, A-, health and fitness, B+ on the commute time. Again, right, its relationship to I-15 makes it easy access if you're trying to go to, say, Salt Lake City. Okay, so Clearfield has a population of 31,802 people. And here it breaks down real estate. So here it says 241,000 as the median home value. Well, let's dive into utahrealestate.com. and let's look at some stuff. So active right now, we are middle of September 2023, and there are 54 homes available for sale. This is all housing types: single family, townhomes, condos, mobile homes, 54 of them, with a low of $65,000, a high of $650,000, median price of $380,000. Okay, and this is kind of how it breaks down on price. So you can see kind of concentrated right here. Again, median price $380, so right there. Okay, it's under contract. There's currently 22 homes under contract, and this is looking at the past 6 months. In the past 6 months, there was 160 homes sold, a low of $65,000 again, a high of $668. So again, keeping with that range of what's sold in the last 6 months as to what's available today in the middle of September. Here though, the median price is up a little bit at $410,000. So that's kind of what I use about what is the median value of a house in the area is the recently sold median price, and this is at $410,000. Okay, So I would say it's a little higher than what what niche.com is reporting here. Median rent around $1,200. More people own than rent, although I'd say rentals may be a little bit higher in this area because, again, of its relationship to Hill Air Force Base. Most military is located at a certain city or destination for around 2 years, and so a lot opt for a rent versus an own. Although when you own for 2 years or more, you get the benefit of not having to pay the capital gains tax and there's certain limits there too. But all right, we already went over the map of where it is located. So here's Clearfield rankings compared to, let's look at, I think it's gonna give us nationwide. Let's go in Utah, okay? It's giving it the number 8 most diverse suburb in Utah. Number 23 for young professionals. Number 35 for best public schools. And that's out of 136. So still top, 20% or so there. Best suburbs to live in Utah. It's number 42 of 73, so right in the middle. 44 of 73 to raise a family. And number 81 of 156 of best places to live in Utah. Okay, so not too bad. Not too bad. Crime and safety. So Clearfield, niche.com does give Clearfield City a C+ for crime and safety. And here it kind of gives you per 100,000 residents how many there are, and then compare it to the national average. So assault 101.9, but national average is 282, so that is actually relatively low in comparison to what the national average is. Okay, robbery 15 versus 135. Again, very low compared to what happens across the nation, right? Where would it? I mean, it doesn't really. Maybe motor vehicle theft is still like it's only half of what the national average is. So even though it gives it a C+, looking at the numbers and comparison to the national average, it really isn't that bad, right? It's not some place that you're gonna feel super unsafe, but maybe in comparison to other places in Utah, maybe that's why it's a C+, but yeah. So diversity, A-. Okay, here's looking at age, kind of where are we at? 25 to 34-year-olds get almost 20%, so that's, like I said, for the young professionals, it's ranked pretty good. Some kind of college education, that's good. So working in Clearfield, how's the job outlook look in Clearfield? Gives it a B+ here on niche.com. Okay, $64,689 for the median household income. Here are some different places. There's Lifetime Products. There is a huge warehouse off of 193 in Clearfield. That Lifetime is, they build like sheds, kids jungle gyms, kayaks, kind of those outdoor plastic things is what Lifetime Products is. And so it's a pretty big employer there in Clearfield. So I'd say Lifetime and Hill Air Force Base may be the two top employers. Yeah, and so then here are just kind of places like Clearfield in Utah. Riverdale, which is just south of Ogden. Roy, just south of Riverdale. Rose Park, which is more towards Salt Lake. Washington Terrace is another suburb of, I'd say, Ogden rather than Salt Lake, okay? Here, reviews, people, just your general public giving a review of Clearfield City, give it 4 stars out of 5, 104 reviews, 45 of the 104 give it 4 stars, 27 give it 5 stars. That's over half are giving it 4 stars or above, which is great. All right, I mean, you can read some of these. I was born and raised in Clearfield. I think it's an average town. Definitely has a lot of underlying religious beliefs that equates to issues. Yeah, I mean, it's just one person's opinion, right? I would actually think that, honestly, I grew up in Layton, which is just neighboring of Clearfield. And I think of Clearfield not as heavily religious as, say, compared to other areas. As you know, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is a huge following here in Utah. And I would honestly say Clearfield just isn't that as heavily influenced by the church as, say, other cities within Utah. And again, maybe because it has more diverse population from different parts of the country moving here because of the Hill Air Force Base. Let's see, quiet military town, great restaurants and shopping. It's a great town to raise children. Schools range from public to charter. People are friendly. So this is, you know, they give this a 5-star, and this is kind of their experience. Plenty of parks and walking trails. We are about 10 minutes from the mountains if you're looking for something more challenging. Bunch of housing, yeah. So this, farmers markets are plentiful as farms with direct sales of fresh fruits and vegetables. So my family, like I said, I grew up in Layton. My family is from the Layton, Clearfield, Ogden area. And there is a family farmers market, family vegetable stand called Miya Market off 1000 West in Clearfield. So if you're ever out here in Clearfield, Utah, and you want some fresh fruit or veggies, especially their Utah sweet corn, you have to check out my family's vegetable stand, Miya Market on 1000 West. You go there, check it out, let me know. So there's niche.com's kind of breakdown of Clearfield City, right? So let's talk about cost of living in Clearfield, okay? So overall, Clearfield is rated at 101.2 as comparison of the US average of 100. So it's right there with the average in the US. If you look at Utah as a whole, they rank it as a 114.2. So in Utah itself, Clearfield actually has a lower cost of living than, say, other parts of Utah. So it's not too expensive, more affordable area to live. And if you kind of break down kind of how expensive are things, different things like groceries, it actually rates it pretty low. It's below the national average, so it's 92.6 compared to 100. Health, right there with the national average, but this housing gives it a 119.7 compared to the US average of 100. Okay, but again, in comparison, just looking at Utah, it is actually way lower than that 157.3 that if you're just looking at Utah as a whole. Okay, median home cost $380, so that's a little more accurate than the niche.com one, right? Utah says it's $510,000 with a national average of $338. So median home cost, Clearfield, going to be more affordable housing. As you saw, the most expensive home currently right now in September of 2023 on the market in Clearfield is only $50,000. So I mean, in Utah, if we just look at all of Utah, let's just do this real quick. Location, let's take out Clearfield, okay? So there are 8,500 homes and the high is $44 million, right? So definitely not the most expensive place in Utah. So a lot, you can get more house for your money in Clearfield compared to, say, Salt Lake or Provo, Utah County area, okay? Utilities, Clearfield, lower than the national average, right on par, maybe just a little more. And I don't know why that is as compared to the state. Transportation, what is this saying? Kind of mass transit, so 83.5. So mass transit in Utah is called UTA, or the Utah Transit Authority. UTA, so in Clearfield, they have buses, and there is something called the Front Runner, which runs from Ogden to Provo, which is basically a train that just runs north and south from Ogden to Provo, but doesn't go within the cities. It's just kind of on the main area, kind of follows the freeway. But like in Salt Lake, has 91.2, they actually have rail cars within the city that can take you from east to west, as well as not just north and south along the main freeway. Okay, then miscellaneous, 110 versus 91 versus 100. Again, I don't know if I totally agree with that. I would, I'd say Salt Lake City, it would be a lot more in the categories such as clothing, restaurants, repairs, entertainment. I would say Salt Lake is more expensive than Clearfield, but although it's giving Clearfield a 110 rating, I I would almost have to disagree with that. So there you go. There you have a breakdown of Clearfield City and everything you need to know to make a decision of, is Clearfield somewhere you want to live? You know, this is just a brief overview. We'll go over like pros and cons. We'll do a video tour, like a walking tour within the city in future episodes, so stay tuned to those. But again, if you have questions about moving to Utah, northern Utah, you have to reach out to me. Call, text, email. My information is on the screen, but I can only help you if you reach out. So until the next video, you guys, thanks for joining in.